I think we can get started now. Thank you very much for joining in. Just give me a minute. I would like to share my screen. All right, can we see my screen?
Yes, we can. Yes. I think it's kind of blank right here. Yeah, we can see your screen now.
Okay, welcome on board. Thank you everyone for joining in. We have the TAs from the software development track, front and back end, UI UX design, and data science. So this is an all-track onboarding. So welcome everyone. We have the team leads, we have the student team as well. Thank you very much for accepting for taking up the opportunity to work with the team and to impact knowledge in the learners that we have enrolled into the 1.4 cohorts. Without further ado, I think we can get right into it. So we would start by having everyone introduce themselves. Yes, let's have everyone introduce themselves. We can start from Raymond. I can see Raymond's screen already. Yes, so yes, will tell us your name, where you work, and the track that you are going to be mentoring, and a little interesting fact about you. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Hello, everybody. Thank you. My name is Raymond. I'm currently in Cyprus. And about my work, I am currently working as a team of products people who are the products for kidnapping. And we just currently started 8-week sprint. And we are still on the phase 1 of the project, and currently leading the design team, a team of 4 persons who are trying to understand the product's requirements, the user's problem, and all other things that's part of the process. Well, the most exciting thing about the project is the opportunity to actually work with other cross-functional team to learn from a lot of smart people. Okay, so I'm currently in Cyprus. So beside designing, I'm also a student design. So it's kind of off, but that is what it is. And learning is a continual process, so it doesn't end. And beside design, one interesting thing about me is that I'm married to a very beautiful wife. And also I love teaching. I love teaching, and it's been part of what I've been doing for a very long time, whether design related or not. And I was very excited when I saw this opportunity, and I was officially invited to be part of the team. So I am very much looking forward to contributing to the progress of this cohort, and hopefully help, even if it's just one person. But of course, I'm very sure that to be more than one person. But if one person is able to break into tech as a designer because of my efforts, I'll be very proud. So, and yeah, and beside other things related to design and teaching, I also do trade cryptocurrency and cryptocurrency. So yeah, I don't know if there is something I'm missing, but that is about me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Raymond. And not one person, because you're going to be assigned to plenty learners. So all of them must break into tech. That's the goal. Yes.
Yeah, that is the dream. That is hopefully.
Thank you very much. All right. We can have Chinonso next. Hello, Chinonso. So we're introducing ourselves. All right.
All right. Hi guys, how you doing? I'm individual also. A front end engineer. I'm an alumni, which one is correct? Well, anyone I was of Sorten. I think this time last year I was a student at Sorten. Currently, I have a number of things that I'm doing, but I'll say the major thing I do right now is I'm the engineering team of the Sterling Bank engineering team. So we deal with investment software, building and testing, and all that. So it's a nice what do you call it? Because I feel like um, you don't really know something till you can teach, or you don't really know a subject or whatever until you can, teach other people, and so that's why I decided to opt in, and be a tutor at Scotland. I also have another tutoring job with Skill Americans. So it's nice to meet you guys. Hopefully, we'd work as a team to, achieve what we're supposed to achieve. So yeah, thanks.
All right, thank you very much, Nonso. So let's keep it short and simple because we have a lot of people to introduce themselves, because the team will also introduce themselves. Hi, Chisom. Let's get to meet you.
Hello everyone. Yeah, so Chisom Okoye. I'm a front-end engineer with KPMG Nigeria. Um, one interesting thing about me is I love seeing movies and hanging out with friends. Yeah, so I think that's all.
All right, thank you very much, Chisom, for that. Hello, Mabel.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. Yeah, so my name is Mabel. I'm the product design lead at Remedy Portal. And one interesting things about me is that I like making money, like having fun, I like reading a lot, and I like to teach. I'm looking forward to seeing my students do well and meeting every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mabel, for that. So Mabel is one of our design mentors. Hello, Ineka. Hi, Caroline.
Hi everyone. Good
Hello.
afternoon. Okay, so my name is Neka Caroline. I work in the engineering team at FSD Japan. So as a software tester. Yeah, so I will be in software testing department of this cohort. So one very interesting thing about me is I don't have any really interesting thing about me. Okay, movies is interesting. I like to see movies, and that's it. And I like to read novels. Yeah, that's pretty much NECA in a nutshell. Thank you very much.
Thank
That's
you,
all.
Ineka, in a nutshell. All right, I think we can have Humphrey come up now.
All right, so good afternoon, everyone. My name is Humphrey and Osasojoye. So I'm a data scientist and I work currently with Explore AI as an intern. So one interesting thing about me is I write music, not lyrics now, like kind of classical song. So yeah, that's it for me. Thank you.
That's nice. You write music. Nice. All right. Thank you very much, Humphrey. We can have Tunde. Hi, Tunde.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, you can.
All right, good afternoon. My name is Daniel Tunde Ojedira. I'm a software engineer with Andela. I'm gonna be one of the front-end engineering mentors for this program or for this course. Yeah, one more thing. Interesting thing about me, okay. I'm an Arsenal fan and we're currently on top of the league, English Premier League. Yep, that's me.
Interesting. Arsenal fan. Okay. Thank you very much, Tunde, for that. So yes, hi Timmy. Do you want to introduce yourself to everyone?
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Timmy, I guess, for my name anyway. And I'm the head of products and innovations at a fintech company called Pay for Me. And I'm the technical team lead for, product design. I guess the product design cohort at Stotten here. And I think, I was one of the tutors with the 1.3 and, pretty much working with you guys as well for the 1.4 cohort, right? And interesting thing about me is, well, I guess I just enjoy whatever I do, right? I make sure whatever I'm doing, I just enjoy it. So I think that's just the only thing interesting about me, I guess. So yeah, that's fine.
All right. Thank you very much, Timmy, for that. Hi, Ugochukwu.
Hi, how you doing? Hi guys. My name is Ugochukwu. I am a technical team lead here at Stotten. Outside Stotten, I lead a team of software engineers in a fintech here in Germany. And yeah, I've been technical team leader at Stotten for how many months now? It's been, I think, 7 months, and I hope to do that because I enjoy what I do here. Nice meeting you guys, and I hope we work together to bring the best software developers out there. Yeah.
You didn't tell us an interesting thing about you.
It's not interesting thing about me. Yeah, okay, interesting thing about me. Let me see. My favorite topic is, no, let me not say that. That's too controversial. I would say I love fitness, and yeah, and I can make good conversations. I make very good conversations even with strangers, even though it's at first impression I don't look like it.
That's nice. Thank you very much, Ugo.
Yeah.
So we have Oluwase on the call as well. Hello, Oluwase. You want to introduce yourself to the team?
Hi everyone, good afternoon, and I hope we've been having a great Sunday. Thank you so much for making out time to be here on such a short notice and even on a weekend. We appreciate you making out the time. My name is Oluwase. I work as the head of people and operations at Student. I'm really glad to have you all here. Thank you, Doinsola.
All right, thank you very much, Shay. So yes, that leaves me as the last person. My name is Doinsola, and yeah, I'm very excited to have you join the team. And we're very positive that learners are going to have an amazing learning experience. So yes, I am also the learning lead at Student, and together we are going to deliver an amazing and awesome learning experience for the learners. All right, thank you very much, everyone, for taking time out to introduce yourselves. I think it's about time for us to know more about Student. Hi, Oluwase.
Hi again, Doinsola. Thank you. Okay, so we know that some of you are already familiar with Student, we work with your Student, but we have a lot of new people on the call as well today. So we're just going to be telling you more about us. And of course, the goal of this session is to help you settle in well to also help you understand what the vision is for us, to help you understand what we are looking to achieve with the learning experience that we're looking to build for the learners, and also your role as a mentor. We have a couple of resources for you that we believe will help you succeed. So pretty much that's what this onboarding session is about. So at Student, we started off as a job placement platform where we were placing Nigerian talent, young talents that were not exactly trained by us. They were trained by different universities across Nigeria. And we, on our own end, we were just connecting them to employers for entry-level jobs or also internships. So we did more of internships back then and a couple of entry levels. Then further down the line, we saw the need for trained tech talent. Some of the employers that we worked with were looking to hire tech talent because we saw the demand. We saw the demand. We decided to jump on the supply end of things, and we had our very first cohort in 2017. It was a small cohort, and at the time we had it was on on-site learning. So we had a space where learners would come into to learn, and the tutors were also available on site at the time. So, and the very first cohort was a success, and we have graduates from our different cohorts that are doing amazingly well today as well. So we decided it was time to make available what we do across even Lagos, across Nigeria, and then we decided to make our trainings available online. So we went with the hybrid approach. So far we have done up to 13 cohorts. So the 13th cohort is also going on there in class. And then we have the 14th cohort that is going to start fully on Monday. So sometimes our cohorts start simultaneously. So for us at Student, next slide, please, doing Sola. Hi, doing Sola, next slide. Okay, so right now we have a vision for the next 3 years to train and place 12,000 talents into junior dev role and also design roles as well. You're already aware that we have the software engineering track, and we also have the product design track. We also have the data science track as well. And this is a vision for us, and we're almost there. For our 14th cohort, we've enrolled up to 1,500 learners into that cohort. It's our biggest ever. And we're super proud of what we're going to achieve and how we're going to help these people land their dream jobs. For those that are looking to switch careers, how we're going to help them switch into a career that they love in the tech industry. And we're always looking for people to come on board with us to help us achieve this goal that we have. And that's why you all are here today. That means that you're already part of the vision. The entire crux of what you will be doing is providing that support, that hand-holding support for the learners. For some of you, you've gone through the student program, and for some of you, you've mentored people before. And even if you're new to this, we know that you're going to succeed at it. We already have resources and we already have a community. We're all here together. We're going to learn together. We're going to make this work together as well. I think that's it from me.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Oluwaseyi, for that. I think that pretty much sums everything about Student. And yes, again, we cannot overemphasize how excited we are to have you on board. So yes, the student learning model. So the way the student learning model is built is it is built in such a way that our learners can attend classes from anywhere in the world or wherever they may be. At the moment, we have learners from outside Nigeria, learners in we have learners in Republic of Congo, we have learners in South Africa, we have learners in America, we have learners across like different parts of the world, especially for this cohort. And the program is so flexible that it allows them to learn from the comfort of wherever they are. So as a mentor, you would also be joining the class and participating in class activities virtually. We, however, have a physical campus in Bagada. It is currently being renovated and would be made available for learners to come in later in the month. The mentors as well can also drop by anytime you think you want to come in and maybe see the faces of our learners. You are very much welcome. So the program is divided into different phases. Three phases actually. The beginner phase or the beginner class, which is for the first 2 months. And this is the part where learners get to learn the fundamentals of the track they've enrolled to. Then after they are done, they move on to the intermediate class. In the intermediate class, they get more in-depth knowledge on the track they've enrolled to and focus on their different specializations. Then when they are done with the intermediate class, which will be for 4 months after the beginner class, we will then have the housemanship phase. So the housemanship phase is the period where the learners get to learn together. They get to collaborate together on a project. They get to experience, we imitate the experience of an actual office environment, and we help them to get that feel so that they're also well prepared for their placements and job opportunities when they start to work. So those are like the phases, and that the last but not the least phase is the post-class phase, where we start to connect our learners to employers, prospective employers, and our learners also start to put themselves out there. We introduce a very hands-on approach to learning because we believe that learning comes in, learning is very productive when learners get to practice what they are learning, when they have like more practical hands-on experience to their learning. And this would include them working on incremental milestone projects, group tasks, practice questions, quizzes, and also building their portfolio. So while they are learning, during the course of their learning, they would also get the chance to build and create their portfolio before they graduate from the program. So we also do some other activities like guest sessions where we bring in industry experts to speak with the learners and share their industry experiences with the learners, as well as their tech knowledge. So we would usually reach out to the faculty members, which include the tech team lead, mentors, and tutors to share topic ideas and recommendations. So our community manager would be in your DM once it is time for us to start bringing in our guests, or prior to bringing in our guests, so that you can also share recommendations and help us move the session forward. So yeah, I think that covers the learning model at student. Again, classes for the beginner class, the class will be holding from Monday to Thursday, and we have 2 sessions. We have the morning session, which is from 10 to 12 p.m. and we have the evening session, which is from 5 to 7 p.m. So we have gathered the availability of the learners again because of their location. Another factor is the fact that some of our learners, a good number of our learners, from what we've seen in the past, work, and we want to ensure that there's inclusion for them, so they're also able to gain from the sessions that we hold. So they join the live sessions based on the session they indicated, and as a mentor, you would also be hosting the live sessions based on the session you've selected to you've indicated your availability for. So again, we have the morning session and we have the evening session. So for the first week, which is this week, we would be having the mentors host the classes from Mondays to Thursdays. The usual practice is that mentors will take the turn to host sessions. However, because we are still working on onboarding more mentors, we have like a lot of roles to fill, and we're still working on onboarding more mentors. For the first week, especially for the software development track, you'll be working from Monday to Thursday. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, based on the session you've selected. I'll speak more to the class model very soon and how the sessions are going to happen, but those are the details of the learning model. Again, the kind of learners that we have in the program are learners with 0 to basic knowledge. We also have some that are considered as intermediates. Yes, we have some learners that are considered as intermediates. However, the program is a mix of learners with different level of knowledge with respect to the tracks they've enrolled to. Most of the learners we have fall within the category of being novices. We'd say about 70% are novice, about 20% are beginners, and about 10% are intermediate, or 5 to 10% are intermediate. So this means that learners need all the help they can get to kickstarting their journey, and that's why we've been able to put together the curriculum to fit or to serve for that purpose. Our curriculum is beginner friendly, and the program is also beginner friendly. So the teaching of the mentor, the mode of teaching, the approach of the mentors to teaching the classes and assisting the learners will also go a very long way in helping the learners to learn in the right way and get the knowledge that is needed of them. So you would expect a lot of them to do a lot of reaching out, a lot of questions to come in, especially in like the first to fourth week, the first 1 to 4 weeks of the commencement of the class. So they will be doing a lot of reaching out to you via Slack DMs, reaching out to you maybe on LinkedIn, reaching out to you in any way possible. So as much as you can, please help provide responses to their questions, and also encourage them to ask their questions on the general channel. I will speak more to our mode of how we manage communication and how we manage the learning experience at student as we continue. All right, so that's about it for the learning model. Now we move on to the class structure. Please, if you have any questions as this session goes by, feel free to put it in the chat box. We're going to take your questions before the session is over. All right, so this is how the class structure looks like. Before now, we did this, like Shay mentioned, this is the first cohort where we have like this number of learners enrolled to the program. We have about 1,500 and something learners in the program for the 1.4 cohort. This cuts across all tracks, with software development having the highest number of release. So before now, we used to have the live sessions, and we would the way the live session happens is they join the class and they ask questions and they're able to interact with the mentors. And we thought about a way for us to duplicate that experience to this class, regardless of the size of the class. And we came up with this structure. So this is a typical structure of how the live session or the class would look like. We have the live session group. So each track is going to be divided into different groups. We are going to have a maximum of 150 learners in a live session group. So this way we are able to preserve the learning, the quality of learning, where learners are able to ask questions and also interact with the mentor during the live sessions. So for the software development track, I think we have 8 groups, 4 in the morning and 4 in the evening. For the UI UX design track, we have 2 groups, 1 in the morning and 1 in the evening, and same goes for the data science track. So a live session group is further divided, or a group is further divided into subgroups. So the subgroup is where the personal conversation, personal interaction, close interaction with the learners really comes in. So you are going to be assigned, each mentor is going to be assigned to a subgroup, one group is going to be divided into 3 subgroups, like we can see on the screen, and this is going to be duplicated across every other group. So each subgroup would be assigned to a mentor. So I'll use an example. We have the software development track, and we have Daniel. We assign Daniel to one subgroup. We have Nonso, we assign Nonso to one subgroup. We have Caroline, we assign Caroline to one subgroup. So as the mentor to a subgroup, you're going to be responsible for the learning growth, the performance of the learners assigned to you. In a subgroup, we would have at most 50 learners for the software development track, and would have at most 41 to 42 learners for the UI UX design track, and at most 33 to 35 learners for the data science track. So for each subgroup, it will be further divided into a team of 5. So we're dividing the subgroup into a team of 5 for the sake of, one, their peer learning. One activity that the learners will be undergoing is peer learning. So after each class, they are expected to meet, and it's more like a study group where you know how we're in university, and after you take a class, say you don't understand something, you already know that you have your guys that you're going to go and meet, and you talk together and they teach you, and they pretty much shed more light on the areas that you do not understand. So we're looking to imitate that, and that's what we have in the peer learning session. So again, a team is we have teams for the sake of one, learners to learn together, and we want them to get the best out of the session. So they'll be having sessions immediately after class, both for the morning group and the evening group. Again, this live session grouping is based on the session that you've opted for. A mentor that has opted for the morning session would not be paired with the learner that has opted for the evening session. You'll be paired with learners that have opted for morning session if you opt for the morning session, and evening session if you opt for the evening session. So yes, the peer learning part is where the team, why we have teams, and the most important one, which really relates to the mentor, is task reviewing. So the learners will be working, most of their submissions, most of their tasks will come as a group submission. And for this, the mentors will be reviewing the submission of each group. So for example, we have a class this week, and they've attended class, and at the end of the week, they have a project to work on. As a team, they work on it within the deadline that we've communicated with them, and they make submissions. After submission is made, immediately after the deadline, the mentors are expected to schedule presentation sessions with the learner. What this means is that for every submission, learners are expected to present what they've done and indicate their contribution to the project. So you are going to have presentation sessions with 5 groups, 5 teams. So that means 5 different presentations for the learners. This cuts across every subgroup and track. So yes, these are like the 2 main things. Also, you would be providing monthly reports for the learners assigned to you. So for every learner in the subgroup, you will share a monthly report on their progress, on their learning progress. So this would mean that you have to work very closely with the learners to decipher learners that are lagging behind, learners that might need extra support, and come up with suggestions on how we can help these learners to scale through this ordeal that they are experiencing, and also build good relationship with them. This doesn't mean that other learners cannot reach out to you. What this means is that you will be solely responsible for these learners. It's just like you are their guardian through the course of the program. You are the mentor. So yes, you are the mentor and guardian for them through the course of the program. So yes, the way the class is structured is daily, the learners would have they would have access to the learning resources. We have a learning experience platform that we use to manage the learning, for learners to gain access to content, and for the mentors to also review the submissions of the learners. So we put together learning resources like slides, and we have some pre-recorded videos that would also be included in the learning material. So learners would have access to this content before the class starts. For the morning session, classes will be for 10 to 12 p.m. So the first thing learners are going to do, because class will start from 9 and will end by 5. So from 9, between the hours of 9 to 10, learners are going to be working on going through the learning materials. Once it's time for the live session, the mentors are expected to join in. Or prior to that, mentors are expected to go over the slides so that you are in sync with the knowledge that the learners already have before the class. And you also have like a direction and a guide on how to host the live session. So before now, we used to have the mentors put together slides for the respective classes that they are going to host. And this is like the first track that we're also going to be doing a very large number of mentors. So we also thought of a way to ensure that the learning experience is the same across board. And for this to be possible, it would speak more to the kind of the materials that we're sharing with them. We ensure that the materials are the same across board, both for learners in the morning session and the learners in the evening session. So the learning materials has to be the same. So that's why we put the slides together. And I believe we also shared the slide with everyone for us to prepare. So we have like the first 2 slides in the document that we shared, and the other slides will be updated before the close of business tomorrow. So you'll be using all this content to prepare for class, for whatever session you've opted for. After the live session, the learners are expected to take the quiz. So we're going to be sharing quizzes with the learners as well. The quiz would help the learners to test the theoretical knowledge of the learners. So in the live session, it is divided into 2 phases. We have 2 parts. We have the theoretical part and the practical part. So the theoretical part is like the part where you get to explain the theoretical aspect of the lesson for the day to the learners. And the practical part is the part where you get to show them how these things work on the various tools for learning like Figma and VS Code. So yes, within the hours of the live session, you're also expected to call on a learner. For example, we are having a live session and we start by doing a recap of what was learned in the previous class. And then maybe there was an assignment or a practice question. You can quickly go over the solution to the question or share what was expected of them to actually do. Then we move on to the lesson for the day. You teach the learners based on the topic for the day, and then afterwards you're expected to actually call on a learner to share their screen. So all learners are expected to join the session with their laptops. It's very important that they do that because they are supposed to be practicing along with the mentor or with the mentor that is hosting the class. So the learners would be called upon or beckoned upon to share their screen and briefly walk the class through maybe a particular part of the lesson that you can indicate for them to do a walkthrough, after which we then take their questions. So we will be using Slido for the learners to impute their questions. We'll also we're using Slido because Slido allows learners to upvote questions. So if a learner asks a question and I have the same question, I can just upvote the question and then it tops the chat, and that's the question that will be answered. What this does is it helps to save time with answering questions repeatedly. Then you can also have the learners unmute their mic, but you would have to they would have to raise their hands because we want the session to be organized as well. And we've seen it in the previous cohorts that most learners would join into the class, they are distracted, and then they come in to ask different questions that had already been answered. And we want to avoid cases like that. So learners should raise their hand when they want to ask questions. And some would even join the class and then they do not mute their background, and then it starts to disturb the class. So learners will be muted, and then once the session starts, you'll be made host. So when it's time for the question and answer session, you can unmute learners that have questions, that have raised their hands and have questions, and pretty much pick the questions that they have from there. So yes, after the live session, they then move on to the peer to the quiz. After the quiz, they move on to they go for a break, for an hour break. After the break, they then move on to the peer learning or group team learning session, where they meet to brainstorm and share ideas based on the lesson for the day. They would also attempt some practice questions. So we're also going to be including practice questions in the materials for learning. What we have currently are the slides, and we have the quiz for the first week. And we have some practice questions for the first week, but we also want to include you in this process. So from the second week, this week we'll be delegating different mentors to put together the quiz and practice questions for different topics. So one mentor is assigned to a topic, and you put together the quiz and practice question for that topic. Another mentor picks up another topic, and then that way we ensure that you're also included in this process, and you're also able to follow through with what the learners are working with. So yeah, I think that pretty much speaks to the class structure and the model for learning. So these are the tools that we use at Student. We use Slack for communication. I want to assume that we are familiar with Slack. If you're not familiar with Slack, please raise your hand. So Slack is used to communicate. We have different channels on Slack. We have 2 channels for the respective track. We have the info desk, where we pass information across to the learners, and we have the help desk, where we we have the learners ask their questions. So after the live session, it's expected that we'll not be able to answer all the questions during the call. So the Slack channel that we created for help, which is the help desk, learners would be at liberty to ask their questions there. Again, we encourage, or we advise that you direct learners to ask questions on the general channel. And this is so because if one learner is asking the same question, and we have every other learner asking the same question, you don't want to save time, you want to answer that question on the general channel. So I think an alternative way would be to answer questions that learners have on the general channel, so that everybody is also able to follow through, and in case they have the same, or they're experiencing the same bottleneck, they're also able to see solutions to the issues. So the help desk is solely for the learners to reach out to the mentors and the team members, while the info desk is for the faculty members and the mentors and the team, rather, to pass across important information. But we are also working on a way to manage communication. So we are looking at a way to also move communication announcements from the Slack channel to our learning experience platform. The name of our learning experience platform is Citron. On Slack, we would add you to the Slack channel for the team. In a team Slack channel, we would have the tech team lead, we'll have the other mentors, and we'll have the tutors as well as the student team. So this would be where we'll be managing communication, interacting, passing across information to each other, and sharing ideas. So yes, that is it about Slack. For Citron, Citron is our beautiful baby. So Citron is our learning experience platform, and I'm going to share my screen so that I can walk you through how Citron looks. So when it's time for you to review submissions and provide feedback for learners, it is easy for you to do so. Can you see my screen?
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
I can't see
You
the
see
screen.
my Citron screen.
I can't see your Citron screen, just the
No,
last.
just the slide.
All right. Let me show you our baby. All right, let me log out so that we can see. So first, I have accounts with Citron already. I mean, it's expected. So sorry, scratch that. It's expected that. So as a new member, we're going to send you a link to join the different learning experience, the different Citron Academy or Citron course platforms for the track that you are going to be mentoring. So this is how the home page looks like, and then you log in. So once you've created your account, you've signed up. Sometimes when you try to create an account, you're supposed to get an email address to, an email to like a verification code. Sometimes you might not get a verification code. So what you want to do is come back to the platform and try to log in, or you check the spam folder. So the first thing to do is check the spam folder. If it's not there, come to the platform and try to log in. If you still cannot log in, then reach out to me. I would be able to help out in the best way possible. All right, so this is the home page, or this is my dashboard on Citron, and this is the admin's view. So I have access to the course as a learner, as a tutor, and as an admin, but I'll show you how it looks as a tutor. So this is the home page for the tutors. This is how the dashboard will look when you've clicked on the course you want to access. So here we have all of the courses. This is for our 1.2 cohort. So yeah, we have all of the courses that the learners would take, and each course is supposed to be locked. So maybe I should just take us back to the actual page, and then I'll take us through the admin interface first before we move on to the how the tutors page would look like. So if you log into the tutors page, this is how it will look like, both for the tutor, for the learners, and the admin. But the only difference is that as an admin, we can lock and unlock a course. So this is the home page, and these are the only content that we have open for now for the learners. So as a tutor, you would also gain access to them. So to access a learning material, you have to click on this this drop box, and then you just click on this and you gain access to the resources that you need to get started. Then to access the assignments that the learners have, we come here, but there's no assignments here because there was no assignment required of them to submit. So let's check here. All right, so for each assignment, we used to create different assignment sections for the learners, and here we have about 3 different assignments for the learners. So they were not supposed to submit, but some learners did not get the memo, but they still submitted. Anyways, this is how the assignment section would look like. So when you want to review as a mentor, you are supposed to review, and then you will see the submissions of the learners. And once you see the submission of the learners, you can then click on grade, so that you're able to assess their submission. So learners are supposed to provide answers to the questions here, and it would usually be in the form of a link. Most of the time they make submissions on via Figma, maybe a link to their GitHub, or they use Google Doc. So a link will be here. So all you have to do is just click on the link and then proceed to viewing the submission. Here you can see the question that the learners have to work on. And if there are extra resources, you would also find them here. And after you've viewed the learner submission, you then come to this part to drop a remark. So your remark is the feedback for their submission. And this is supposed to be very, very constructive. We do not want remarks like good, very good. We want remarks are supposed to be explanatory, very self-explanatory, that the learners know what they've done well, what they've not done well, and the area that needs to be improved on. After you've shared the remark with the learner, you then come here to assign a grade. All right. Let's say we're giving this learner 100. Once that is done, you grade the assignment. All right. So you have to put a remark Then you grade the assignment. Once the assignment is graded, the learner gets a prompt on their own end that the assignment has been graded. Before the assignment is graded, it's going to show a waiting grade on the learner's part. So yes, as an admin, you can come back to view, but you cannot, you can come back to view the submissions of or the review of the learner. So there are times when the learners might maybe submit a wrong link or submit the link that is not correct. They at the moment, they cannot resubmit an assignment. So what we do is we usually share a Google Doc, a Google form for the learners to make the new submissions. However, we're currently working on improving the learning experience platform, and this should be completed by the end of this month. So when this is done, you'll be able to search through the names of the learners that we have, and also view their performance and see the progress of the learners. So this is how the page looks like. Modules are locked and learners cannot see any module that is not locked. So every day when class goes, you unlock a module. One module is to 1 week. So this is a module for the next 8 weeks. Now, let me take us to the interface as a mentor. So once you're signed in, you would not be able to see, there'll be nothing showing for the course you are taking, because you're not taking a course and you're not managing one. You are teaching a course. So I'm using the dashboard for the 1.2 cohort. So let's go here. Now, if the course is locked, as a mentor, you can also unlock a module or lock a module. So you can also add a lesson as a mentor, but we leave that to the student team to unlock a module and add a lesson. But you can modify the learning resources. So for example, if there is like there's an error, right? You bring it to the attention of the community manager instead of modifying it, so that we're able to follow through and also nudge every other faculty member. So the only thing you are expected to do here is to view the learning resources and to also view the assignments of the learners. So you can see here, let's see. So yeah, you can see here, so this learner's submission has not been graded. So some learners do make submissions very late. And for this cohort, we are working on ensuring that the learners keep to the deadline that has been communicated with them for submission. Please, can we see it in my screen?
Yes.
Yes, Tuten owns Citron, Raymond. All right. So, yeah. So I didn't get that.
That's cool. That's cool. Good to know.
Yes, thank you. All right. So yes, that is the interface for a tutor. Again, on Citron, you'll be assessing the learning materials, you'll be assessing the submissions of the learners, reviewing their submissions, giving them constructive feedbacks, and grading their submissions. So yes, that is it about Citron. Can we still see my screen, please?
Yes.
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 All right. Are you seeing the slide or are you seeing Citron?
I've seen the slide.
Okay, awesome. All right. Now the next two on our list is G Suite. So we use Google Calendar. One of the packages on G Suite that we use is Google Calendar. So we use Google Calendar to manage events and also help you stay up to date with upcoming events. We'll be sending out calendar invites to all the mentors and faculty members so that you are in sync with all of the class activities that is about to happen and come up, especially the ones that relate to you. We also use Google Doc. So we use Google Doc, we use Google Sheet. The one we use the most is Google Doc. And learners are usually advised to share viewable links when they are using Google Doc. So we also want to try as much as we can to put it out there when we have an assignment that requires them to use Google Doc to make them understand that all links that they're supposed to share should be viewable links. Then we use Zoom as well. We use Zoom for the live sessions and guest session. Any session that we hold on Zoom is usually recorded, and learners would gain access to the recordings after the class is over. So we would also be giving you, we'll be sharing the Zoom meeting link with you via the Google Calendar so that you're also able to join the session easily. Then we use Google Meet. So for the sessions like the presentation that the learners would have, we'll be using Google Meet. For the peer learning, the learners will use Google Meet. If you have a session you want to hold with the learners, we use Google Meet as well. So in the beginner class, you'll be doing more of mentoring, more of teaching the live sessions, reviewing submissions, providing support for the learners. However, when we move to the intermediate class, you would stop taking the live session, the tutor will take over. So what you'll be doing solely is to review submissions, provide support, and host weekly AMA sessions. So for the AMA sessions, mentors will take turn to host. It's an Ask Me Anything session where the learners, it's not like a seminar where it's an interactive one, they have questions, you answer them, ask questions, they answer them. It's usually very interactive and it helps the learners get through any ordeal that they might be experiencing. So the live session in the intermediate class is for 2 days in a week and it's holds for 2 hours as well. So the AMA session would hold the last day of the week, which would be on Friday. So yes, to be between Thursday and Friday, depending on the schedule for the class. So we gather the question of the learners and we have the mentors prepare, share them with the mentors and have the mentors prepare ahead of the session. So the AMA session would also hold on Zoom so that we're able to record it and give learners access after they are done with the session or for learners that miss out on the session. The quality of a mentor. So as a mentor here at Student, you would need a lot of patience. I know we have plenty mentors that will be able to testify to the fact that patience is something you really need when working with the learners, especially because they are beginners. So you need to be very patient with them and trust the process of their learning. Some of them we have different type of learners. Some are slow-paced learners, some are fast-paced. So it's a mix of those that we have in class. So some of them would be dragging you back and taking you back. So you need a lot of patience when working with the learners. You also need to be passionate about the growth of the learners, be intentional about the growth of the learners, passionate about the learners in the class, especially those assigned to you. You have to be passionate about them and always also try to put yourself in their shoes sometimes and understand where they're coming from with maybe whatever issues that they might be experiencing. I think that way you'll be able to build a good relationship with the learners. You also have to be welcoming and accommodating. So our mentors are expected to be welcoming because you'll be working closely with the learners, and if they don't feel comfortable reaching out to you or asking for help, then it's going to be an issue because that would mean that they are going to be lagging in so many areas. So as a mentor, you have to be welcoming, accommodating, check on the learners that are assigned to you, check on everyone, all the learners, check on learners assigned to you, check on other learners, and pretty much share, make the learners know that you are there for them and make them understand that they can always reach out to you, your DM is open, and whatever it is, whatever issues they might be encountering, they can always reach out to you for the issues. We also do encourage the learners to not wait for these problems, that they should also reach out to the mentors. But we've seen it over time that there's an increase in engagement when the mentor mentions it that, oh, you can always reach out to me and I'm here to help you while in this journey together. Always let them know this, that you are in the journey together and that they're not doing it alone. So yes, that would go a very long way. Sorry. That will go a very long way in helping the learners to make good progress in class. You also have to be empathetic. This speaks more to putting yourself in their shoes. Again, some learners would share some issues with you, and it could be very frustrating for them, maybe because they are trying to solve it and then they're not making any headway. And it could be like they're also disturbing, because some learners would come and say, oh, I have this issue and this, and you're trying to explain to them, but they're not getting it, and it could be frustrating. But try to also put yourself in their shoes most of the time to see where they're coming from. I think this would help you to better understand how you'll be able to approach the issues that they've shared or the issues that they might be experiencing. So this way you are able to help them through, and they will also feel welcomed, and they will have the feel that they have a good relationship with the mentors. Then be a good communicator. So yes, I think this pretty much speaks for itself. Be a good communicator. You have to ensure that you are passing clear information, you're passing clear instructions, you are teaching. Oh Lord. All right, so you have to ensure that you are teaching the learners with clear instructions. So we don't want situations where one thing is communicated and you have like another thing in mind to pass across to the learners, but you know the learners will count it as something else. You want to ensure that you are passing whatever information you're passing to the learners are very clear, so much so that there are no issues with understanding what is expected of them. Lastly, you have to be a good teacher. So aside being a very skilled tech person, being a good teacher is also very, very important. As a good teacher, you are including all the learners, regardless of their pace, regardless of the type, the way they learn. So there are different types of learners: the ones that learn when they read, the ones that learn when they watch videos, listen to podcasts, the ones that learn when they practice. So as a good teacher, you are creating room for inclusion in such a way that you're putting the learners first. You are teaching them like you don't assume like they know these things, because they don't know them. So you are teaching them like you are teaching a baby. You are teaching them with like using the most basic way to help them understand these things. Like you can use different illustrations, use real life examples. So for example, you want to teach on maybe what example can I use? Maybe you want to explain how maybe let's say if statements. I don't know how it works. I'm just trying to like assume. So for if statement, let's say I was supposed to say if 1 and 2, 1 plus 2 is equals to 4, then 3 plus 1 is equals to 4. So you're not supposed to just leave it at that and say, so do you understand? 1 plus 2 equals to 4. Yeah, you should use example to say like, okay, I have one orange and I get another orange and I get another orange and I put them all together. What does it give me? Then you can count it. That's 1 orange, 2 orange, 3 orange. It gives me oranges, rather. It gives me 3 oranges. Oh, sorry, 4 oranges. Then I have 3 oranges and I put 1 to it. What does it give me? So you're using like examples that they can understand, examples that are relatable, like normal things, using things around, experiences around to teach the learners, so much so that it helps them to better understand the topic. Then also in the sessions, be free with them. Be free to share your experience with them. Be free to share your journey with them. Some of them would think that there are some of them that join the program and they would think that, oh, after this program, I'm going to be coding like the tutor, the mentor, the tech team lead. It's possible, but it's not impossible to say, but reality is it is not possible, because they are still beginners, and we need to help them understand that these things are in phases, and you cannot just get there even after 8 months of learning. It took more than 8 months for these people that are looking up to get there. So we want to try as much as you can to also encourage them and make them understand that they would fail at so many points, but what is important is how they're able to pick themselves up. And you can even share if you know like a story that would inspire them, share with them, whatever it is. Pretty much encourage them to keep going, because in the beginning, it's always sweet and they're always gingered and hyper and everything. But when they enter the intermediate class and everything starts to get really tough, then the learners will now start, that's when we now see that some of them are now inactive, they're now lagging and whatnot. So we want to, words of encouragement will go a long way at this point. So yes, I think we should also like include that after, during or after, whenever, in the live session on Slack, whatever it is, whatever way we can share those stories with the learners, or whatever it is we can share those stories or encouragements with the learners. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. Hi, Oluwaseyi. I'm free, not 1,000 for 2 billion. Hello, Oluwaseyi.
Hi, Dunisola. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I think you've captured well what the qualities, all the qualities that we're actually looking for. And I love how you added the mentors also sharing personal experiences. I think that that's very important. So one thing we also would like you to all bring into the program or the training for the learners is your complete self, right? So please do not shy away from sharing your journey with them. They're going to find it inspiring, and we also want you to be very empathetic, like Donisola mentioned. Just bring your old self. Let them learn from your journey, because at the end of the day, when they become amazing developers and designers, they will have you to thank. So when they look back, they would say, "Oh, Chisom was my mentor. Humphrey was my mentor." So we want you to put yourself in the shoes of the learners, and just help them understand that this is a process and they are going to be fine. So apart from just coming to class to teach them, share your journey with them and help them understand that they can do it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shay, for that. I think we can move on to the next slide now, which is to be the best version of yourself. And we'll be having the tech team leads, Rotimi and Ugo, share some words with us. Hello, Rotimi.
Words of wisdom.
Hi, Timmy.
So who's going first?
Yes, Timmy. You are going to be the
Yeah.
sacrificial lamb.
I've been, yeah. So yeah, so hi everyone. I think I introduced myself before. Now I'm Timmy, and yeah, I'll be the technical team lead for you guys working in design pretty much, right? Training the designers and stuff like that. And one thing I think, there's one story, there's something she said now, right? And it's something that I think there was a day, I think doing, and maybe replacement was talking about something. I was like, I remember UI UX design, when I first came to student back then, right? I didn't know exactly what I wanted to. I was thinking maybe I wanted to go for web development or design. But she managed to convince me to say, okay, I think maybe she thinks I should try design and I would love it. And now I have no regrets, like years down the line, right? So I always be grateful to Shay for that. Like, back as the 2018. Yeah, that's 2018 back then. So anyway, words of wisdom, I think, or not really words of wisdom, just like pretty much just tips, like handling students is try to find that balance, right? Between, real life examples and then, when you're explaining technical concepts, right? They seem to grasp those things easily, right? Especially most times when I'm explaining, the design thinking process of, I always use like cases of like buildings, right? A building was not built just like that, you understand, right? There's always like a planning phase. There's like a lot of things that need to go before you start building something, right? They love those kind of things and they seem to grasp, a lot of those things as well, right? And also relate to like things you've gone through before, right? I love sharing a lot of my failures, right? Things I've done and I've failed in, right? I like sharing so that they know it's not like a perfect job, right? You don't get the perfect results when you start. So a lot of times I share, things around, when I started, things I saw, right? What happened and things like that, right? Those kind of things typically are the kind of ways I try to relate with the students themselves, right? And also keep the slides not too wordy, right? Because a lot of the slides, I think for the beginner level was a little bit, very wordy, right? But I made sure, whenever we are trying to teach these concepts, right, we try to make sure we are not explaining, you know, word for word exactly what is written in the slides, right? We already understand the concept because we created the slides ourselves, right? By just coming in, explaining the concept, you know, behind a lot of the things that were said in, and then showing a lot of practical aspects to it, right? Because that's one thing I try to do. Whenever I'm explaining typography, right, I go into Figma, show them a few things like, okay, this typography is good, combination, this is bad, this is, you know, use of color. Just show, you know, just showing them visible things, right, that they can relate to say, okay, well, he's showing us this. And then you will ask them, tell them to judge themselves, right? This versus this, which do they think is better? And you will see a lot of them will start understanding that, well, you know, it's not just about maybe all these technical, you know, terms, right? It is really about how you perceive things, right? And also you need to remember, you being the, you know, tutor, right? You are not they're not the student, right? You might think, oh, because you explain this in a way that you yourself understand it, you might think everybody else will understand it. They don't always get it that way, right? So on leaving that avenue, I like to leave like 15 minutes, right, at the end of the class to say, okay, at the end of the class, so that 15 minutes, I'll just, you know, maybe tell stories or allow them ask questions, right? And also sometimes at the beginning of the class too, I could just drop a task and say, okay, guys, try this out, right? And then it's just going to be something very small that they can finish in like 5-10 minutes, right? And then I'll say, okay, 5 of you guys, right? Whichever one is confident enough, share your screen, let us look at what you've done, right? And then give them tips and tricks, you know, what to do better, right? And that leads me to the next point, constructive criticism, right? We don't criticize in the sense of, when you're not in class, when you don't know, we don't do that, right? We try to make sure it's very, you know, constructive in the sense of, oh, try to visit, you know, so there's a difference between saying, oh, when you're not in the class, like, why were you not paying attention? Versus saying something like, oh, try to go back, right, to the recordings and watch this, right? And then practice, you know, exactly what I did, you understand? And then come back to me in Slack whenever you have the time and let's discuss about it, you understand? A lot of them seem to, you know, feel very, they start getting very friendly towards you, right? Once you start doing things like that, giving them that avenue. Right now, I think just a few seconds ago, like about some of the students, right, were just talking to me about, oh, being interested in the project I'm working on, right? Because I feel like including them in things is also very good as well, right? I'm working on a few freelance projects. I'm like, okay, students, let's work on this together. I'll give you guys just one user story, right? Work on that and let's see, you know, at least you guys will have something live on your portfolio before the end of the entire program, right? That's something, you know, that you can as well do, right? But, you know, again, they have to get to a level of, you know, expertise before you start handing things to them like that. So that's kind of like what we've been doing since, I think, Thursday. We've just been, you know, a lot of them are sending things to me, trying to say, okay, I'm interested in this and interested in that, right? So you start seeing people show interest in things when you try to include them in things you've done before. You relate with stories of, you know, things that you are very, very used to, right? And then as well, there are, you know, I'm sure like a lot of us as designers, there are some things that we have not really experienced, right? But they're in the slide. The best thing is for you to research these things, right? And when you are talking to the students, sometimes it's always good to tell them, okay, I myself have not experienced this, but I know exactly how to create it, right? Or how to utilize this concept, right? So it's always very good for you to go back. Like now, I think when I came in, I'd never used Notion before, except for our job interviews where they just told us to go in and fill some things in, right? But then I realized some people use Notion to create their portfolios and things like that, right? For me, it's, you know, the website, your Behance, you know, and your Dribble, right? Pretty much those are like, or use Webflow to create your website, you know. But now, you know, and then I had to go back and then read a little bit on that, you know, and then test out some theories in, you know, using Notion. So as much as, you know, you are teaching, right, you also be learning. You need to relearn some concepts as well, right? You teach and then you keep relearning as well. But sometimes the students, they ask me questions and I'm like, that's a very, very brilliant question, right? Something I've never thought of. So sometimes you learn from the students as much as they are learning from you as well, even though, you know, you are more experienced in that field, right? So sometimes when you don't know something, right, don't try to lumber your way out of it, right? As I always say, right, don't try to lumber your way out of it. Sometimes it's just better to say, okay, I'll get back to you guys in the next class on that, right? So that you go back, do enough research on that thing, and then you can easily just explain, you know, those concepts as well. But beyond that, I think friendly line of communication is very, very important, right? You know, allow them reach out to you when they have issues, right? If they need you to review their Figma, you know, maybe their assignments, even after the assignments have been submitted. One thing I like to do is tell them, just send me your link whenever you want me to review it personally. I open the link, it's just a few seconds to open a Figma, right? Drop a comment on a few parts where you think they can align things better or do something a little bit better, right? And then pretty much, they will tell you, thank you for that, right? These are some things that they didn't think of. And then they'll make those corrections. And then they'll tell you, I've made those corrections. And then you can tell them, oh, I remember you in class, right? You sent me an assignment 2 days ago. Let me see if you made those corrections. Then they can quickly just show you like 2 minutes in the class, right? Then everybody else will also learn what you corrected that person on, right? So it's kind of like a continuous process, kind of like a continuous cycle, kind of, right? So those are the kind of things that I always encourage with class. Just open line of communication. They have a problem, try to help them out of that problem, right? Or try to refer them to, because obviously guys be working in teams, right? It's not only you teaching the entire class, right? So it's always good to refer to like one of your other colleagues as well, right? It could be me, it could be some of the guys from the 1.3 cohort, we're all going to be in the same channel together anyway, just having discussions and stuff around strategies to make things better. So typically you could refer them to any of us, right? And then it's a team, I think it's kind of like a village, right? We're all kind of thinking of, ways to, I guess, progress forward and, make things a little bit better, right? So these are just some few tips. I'm sure the more we do this, right, and the more conversations we have amongst ourselves, we'll start understanding a lot of how we should do things and, some of the things to kind of steer clear of, you understand? So I think that's just my own few tips, pretty much for being a mentor.
Thank you so much, Timmy, for that. I really did enjoy and learn from what you said, and you were spot on, really spot on. So I think that this should also apply to every mentor, not just the mentor in the design class. It will be very helpful, yes, very helpful in the journey of the learner. So I should also put it out there that for this cohort, we onboarded more women into tech because we are on a mission to like get more women into tech, and we're able to do that in this cohort. So okay. So yes, we're able to get more women into tech. So you'll be working with a lot of them, and yes, women have their wala and everything, but if you are able to like create that room for them to be comfortable, create that room for them to reach out for even all the learners, it will be very good. And you will just be part of, like she said, it's a way for you to, you have like bragging rights, because you just imagine the number of people that would become designers and they will say, oh, when they get to the top, they'll say, oh, thanks to this person that's helped me in my journey. They'll be able to like mention your name in their success story. You'll be a part of their success story. So that's where being the best version of yourself comes in. All right, we'll have Ugochukwu now. Hi, Ugochukwu.
How you doing?
Yes.
What can I say? You guys have said it all now. One last thing to add is top on being yourself and carrying everyone along. You should also mix it up with being firm. Being firm, don't do as just find the line between carrying everyone along and also being firm. Do not, you have to make it sound like it's serious business. Not that make it sound like it's serious business, it is serious business. So let everyone, if you try as much as possible to carry everyone along, you will see yourself being in a position where you keep bending and you keep, you keep slowing everyone down. So know when to be firm, know when to say it the way it is, and also know when to carry people along. Yeah, that's all I can say. Timmy has said it all, Doing has said it all. These are the extra things I think they've not said that are very, very important in our roles as tutors and mentors. That's all.
Thank you so much, Ugo. I quite agree with you on being firm. Yes, I agree with that because it would come very well in to me, it will come very well in submission. So learners can be very funny with meeting up with deadline. So we usually leave it for, we always give them the liberty to say, okay, if you are late on submission, you can still submit and your submission will be reviewed, but that's going to change. So we want to also ensure that we're also being firm on our own end, and then the mentors are also being firm with everything, but also being flexible at the same time. So it's going to be like, you have to find the balance, like Ugo said. Thank you very much, Ugo, for that. And yes, thank you, Timmy, as well. So next, we'll be taking your questions. Do we have questions? Yes, Raymond, please go for it.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for all the explanation, and I've actually learned a lot. You have answered some of my questions, though I still have like 5 of them. So should I ask one of the other, or should I just ask all at a time?
Let's take it on. Let's
Okay.
see.
Okay. The first question I want to ask is there a referral program for tutors or mentors? Okay, like for referring students to the company. Then as a mentor, what are the things that I cannot do? Right. Then also, is there a reward system for students, especially those like good best performing students? If there is none, can I develop one? Okay. And I'm also thinking, would it be okay to edit the slide? Because I saw on the slide there are dates and name. I'm not sure if that is maybe the date was created and the person that created the slides. So I think maybe there is need for that. And also, can a mentor initiate extracurricular learning activities? And to what extent? And okay, so you mentioned that there are also learners that are already in the intermediate level. And I want to know if these persons will be taking the beginner's course or they are going directly to intermediate classes. And I think the last question that Timmy has already answered part of it, but I still want clarity. Do I have to follow the learning slide meticulously, or can I develop alternative approach to achieve the same goal? All right, thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Raymond. So for referral, I don't know if you mean by maybe, I think I'll need more clarity on that. You can refer students to the program, you can refer people to the program, if that's what you're asking. Yes, you can. But is there like an extra bit to that question?
Yes. Yeah, okay, what I mean is a referral program where if a mentor refers a student to the platform and they register for a course, does the mentor receive any sum of reward for referring someone to take a course? Okay, that's right.
She wants to help us.
Okay, thanks for that question, Raymond. I think that's quite interesting. We do not have such plan in place here, but I mean, it's something that we can consider. If you're able to refer like 50 people, even 20, we can even start from 20. But yeah, it's not anything we cannot design. So thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, definitely, can look into it.
Yes, thank you. Then also for the, I'm going to just take them randomly for the slides, right? So we did it in such a way that because we understand that different people will be taking the classes at different points, we did it in such a way that the knowledge that the learners are going to start with is going to be the same. That will be like the base of the knowledge they are going to start with. You can when creating or when preparing for the session, however, you are supposed to prepare for the session based on what we have, so that we are sharing the same knowledge, even though we know that it might not be 100% the same, because there are two different people teaching, but there's supposed to be like there's supposed to be a lot of similarity with the knowledge we are passing across. We don't want a situation where class A is learning this and class B is learning another thing. So we're supposed to use the slide to tell us, the slide is supposed to be used to as a guide to preparing for the session. So if you have like maybe another example you want to use for the class, that's totally fine, as long as we are passing across the same knowledge to the learners. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Please remind me of the third question.
Okay. Most important, I was referring to what I can do as what I can't do as a mentor on yeah. So
okay, so what you can't do. I mean, it's okay for you to reach out to the learners. What you can't do as a mentor is to you can reach out to the learners, you can request for their email addresses, whatever means to reach out to them. I think what you can do is to edit the slides. But for the practice questions, the quiz, even the projects to a point, we'll be reaching out, we'll be scheduling a meeting with the faculty so that we can discuss all of these engagements and how we can move forward from there. Then also, for I think you asked one other question around, I just remember the question. What does that answer your question? What you can do? I think that's the only thing you can do.
yeah.
Editing the slide, we were trying to, so we used the contents from the previous course. So it was so good that we had like a very good feedback from the learners, and we saw the progress in them, and we believe that content will be very helpful for the 1.4 course. So we tried to modify it, but it looks like we had attached the wrong link. So yes, we'll just look into that and see how we can make edits to them and move forward with that. Does that answer your question for the slide as well?
Yeah, that's
okay.
Okay.
All right, I've been able to capture everything.
Yeah, okay. The last question was if a mentor can initiate an extracurricular activities.
Oh yes, definitely.
Yes.
So the only issue is that you are not initiating it for just your class or for just the live session group that you are assigned to or the subgroup you are assigned to. So whatever it is, whatever idea any mentor has should be shared with other mentors so that this is duplicated across board for every other learners. Do you understand? So that the experience is the same.
Yeah.
So group A is not having extracurricular activities and group B is having another activity ongoing, or that they're not experiencing that. I mean, it's part of the learning experience for them. So yes, it's something that you can always share with the team, with delegates. First, we review and see if it's something we can move forward with. And then once it is reviewed, everybody decides, and we just, because now it doesn't include just one group again, it includes everyone. So we all make the decision, we all brainstorm on it or review it, make the decision, and then move forward with it or not move forward with it, depending on the decision that is made.
Okay, yeah, thank you. If you don't mind, just one last question, please.
Yes, please.
All right, so you made mention that we have more students in this cohort than the previous ones, and I also can see that the team has made some progress to ensure that everybody is carried along. But at the end of the day, the real case scenario will be that there are some persons that won't follow through, right? So at what point can a mentor move on and focus on other students than trying to force someone into committing to their own learning?
All right. So first of all, there are two ways this is going to come in. First is through the monthly reports. So again, you're supposed to work closely with the learners, the subgroup, learners in the subgroup you're assigned to. And working closely with these learners will help you to first understand their struggle. So the two learners would fall into the category of not being active. One are the learners that maybe are not getting the best out of the program, or they are like experiencing a knowledge gap. And the other would be learners that maybe want to withdraw or defer from the program based on maybe a personal issue or whatever issue it is that they have. So for the first category of learners, right, as the mentor, you are supposed to work closely with the learners assigned to you and identify learners that might be struggling. If you've been able to identify learners that are struggling, and if you've been able to identify learners that are struggling, you also have to come up with a suggestion, share with the team. We also look into it and also maybe share suggestions on maybe how we can move forward. Suggestions might be to provide more help for that learner, or maybe pair them with learners that are doing well, because again, peer learning is a big thing for the learners. And in the past 2 weeks, we've seen that they found peer learning very helpful, and it helped them to move forward with their learning pace. So maybe you want to create maybe a plan for them, or just see how you can support them. You have to put in the effort to ensure that they're getting the best out of it. So it involves two parties. It involves the mentor and involves the learners. If you've tried your best and the learner is not making headway, in the report, we are supposed to know learners that are making headway and learners that are struggling. So that way, we are going to also on our own end follow through with the learners, because we will do we have on Stitchon, we can look out for the performance overview of the learners. So if we see that a learner has not been active, we would reach out to these learners to know why and to see how we can help them. So we pretty much advise on a way forward for them. So as the mentor, you have a very key responsibility to play there, to ensuring that they get the help that they need. If the help is not enough, then it is now left to the learners to decide on whether they want to continue with the program or not. So we on our own end, when we reach out to the learners, we compile the list of learners that might be inactive, or maybe they've indicated that they are not going to be moving forward with the program. Then we share with the faculty members, so that if a learner that you are assigned to is inactive, you are not marking them, or you are not you're aware pretty much, and you know what the concern is. So I think that speaks to both the ones that struggle and the ones that defer. So would always share. So once we share this with you, we can pretty much move forward with focusing on the learners that are active. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. Awesome. Thank you very much. That's all for now.
Thank you, Raymond. Yes. Thank you, Raymond. Do we have more questions? Okay. All right. In the absence of further questions, I think
Sorry, I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes, please. Hi, Tunde.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh yeah. I wanted to clarify about the slides that were given and the topics for each week. So the cohort is supposed to start this week, right?
Yes.
So how exactly? I from what I saw on the document, we had JIT as the first thing, version control basically as the first slide. So does that mean that that's what they will be taking through this week, or is it that how does it work?
Yes, so that is like a weekly breakdown of the the outline for the next 2 months. So we've seen it before now that learners struggle with understanding like the basic of Git and even how to use Git. Before now, we used to choose it like maybe 2 classes and that was about it. But now we're saying that we're going to put in more focus on helping the learners to really understand the fundamentals of this, because there's more to Git than just the basic of than what we know. So we want to help them understand how to use Git and everything. So if you check the curriculum would also shed more light on what is expected for for the different topics. Yeah. But yes, that's what we're covering this week. Then next week we'll be moving on to HTML. Then the following one will have like an HTML project, then CSS, more on CSS, and then a project on HTML and CSS, and then responsiveness.
All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Ali. Do we have more questions? All right. So yes, here is us helping. We put together a different courses that we think would be very helpful for you. Courses and resources that we think will be very helpful for you, and would want you to complete them within the first week, so that you are able to start implementing whatever you learn into the mentoring journey here at Student. So this first one is a video to I'm not supposed to play that. Okay. So this first one is a video to help you understand, or help you understand what teaching an adult would look like, and how to like utilize or how to get the best out of teaching an adult. The other one is on becoming an inspiring mentor. An inspiring mentor is a mentor that learners look up to. They want to be like that mentor. So yes, we want our learners to look up to you, and this resource is going to help you to understand how to be that person. And lastly is being a good mentor. So there are 2 different things: an inspiring mentor and a good mentor. A good mentor is, to my best knowledge, is somebody that knows their work, that knows that understands their role very well and knows what is required of them, and they fit with the quality of what's it called now? The qualities of a mentor. So yes, we want you to complete these courses before the week is over. And yes, the slides will be shared after the session so that you are able to gain access to all of this, as well as the recording for the session today. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining in. So quick one, what would your first week look like? So the first week would entail the mentors teaching especially the social development mentors, taking the morning session and evening session on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. However, we have interviews lined up. In fact, we're supposed to have one today, but we couldn't. So we'll have interviews lined up from tomorrow to onboard more mentors to join in and then reduce the workload. So again, you're supposed to take turns to host the live sessions, and after this first week, hopefully, with your help and recommendation, we'll be able to fill all the roles and everyone will start to take turns to host live sessions from next week. But for this week, we would need we'll need all hands on deck to ensure the progress and successful execution of the first week of class. The learners are super excited to meet you. We'll be adding you to the Slack channels today, and we'll introduce you to the learners tomorrow, and just expect that your Slack DM is going to be filled with messages and questions and whatnot. So yes, thank you so much for your time. It was really fun chatting with everyone, reading the comments. I hope you enjoyed the onboarding session, and I hope you are excited about meeting the learners and what is to come. Thank you again, and see you in class tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you, Donnie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Doing, can
Thank
you
you,
wait
everyone.
there?
Yes?
Thank you, everyone.
No, so you're raising your hand. What's up?
Yeah,
That was-
sorry. One last thing, right? I mean, it seems like we have like about three um developers. I don't know, tutors right now. Yeah.
We have
So does it mean you have
we have 6.
on the call right now?
Oh, on the call, yeah.
Okay, so because now you're saying does it mean you're having three? You're gonna be having three? I thought it was 2 sections a day.
Yeah, it's 2 sessions in a day. However, we have different groups. So for the software
Okay,
development,
different.
track,
Okay,
we
yeah,
have
yeah,
about
subgroup. Yeah.
1,000 and something learners. So by software development, we
Okay.
mean a combination of front end, back end, mobile dev, and software testing. So we have like over 1,100 and something learners in the software development track. So we need a lot of mentors, and to ensure that they get the best out of the program, we divided
Okay.
the session into groups. So that's where the live session groups comes in, and we have 8 of them.
Okay, some live sections can be happening like when like together, like you have more than
At the
one
same
live
time,
section
yes.
happening
At the
for
same
this.
time, on
Okay.
different Zoom meeting links, yes.
Okay, no problem. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. We would call it a day here. I would have played music for Shay would usually play music, but I
Thank
don't know
you.
why he did not play song today.
I mean,
People have
Thank you.
Oh my God. Sorry, guys. We didn't collect, what's it called, favorite music I had. But don't worry, please
We'll find
enjoy
out.
the rest of enjoy the rest of your weekend. You can play your favorite, play your first day in class. You can even play your favorite music for what's it called?
I have
Give me 1 second.
my favorite is an album. So I play an album.
No, album.
Now.
Just play for like maybe 2-3 minutes to welcome them. They are going to do a lot of work. Just try to welcome them nicely. All right. Thank you so
All right,
much.
thank you, everyone. Do enjoy the
Bye-bye.
and
Bye-bye.
bye.